That's barely. Yeah, well, who cares what you want, fool? I don't have to prove shit to you. I'm an intelligent being. I'm fucking super smart. I don't, like, you're just not, I'm not, like, I'm not a circus. I don't have to just sit here for entertainment. Like, I'm just here to relax and meet people right now. But sometimes I do episodes. So, call in, then I would fuck with you. Maybe I would talk to you. But right now I'm not in the mood to sit here and type out and talk. Like, sometimes I am, but don't dismiss me. My new phone. I'm working this phone, obviously I'm here. Hello everybody. The next person we have on has the biggest dick this side of the Mississippi. Welcome. It's Doomsday Podcast.
Well, that just depends on what side of the Mississippi you're on.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, sir.
So how are you doing tonight, man?
Highs and lows, man. Highs and lows, but I'm feeling very good for the most part.
I feel you on that. Yeah, so when you mentioned you were having issues with your new device, I got a new tablet that I'm using for Podbean, and I'm having a lot of issues with it as well.
It just is retarded.
The main issue I'm having is I cannot get my audio for my show to upload for the live shows. So
exactly, that's the exact same thing I'm having problems with. Oh my fucking god, dude, that's just like the most frustrating thing in the world.
And I've been fucking with it for weeks now.
Dude, exactly, what the fuck do you do?
I don't know, but I could get the file to where it's visible, but then when I click on upload, the file doesn't exist.
See, what I'm getting is, okay, so this is the thing. So this is what I thought today. Like, so I have a phone. I bought a brand new 5G phone, but it had no SD card in it. So the file storage path for Podbean is set for internal storage. So I was thinking maybe there's just maybe the internal storage it was setting to. It was something called, I forgot, but it's something really lame, just like some really basic like internal storage something. It's like very specific, and I was like maybe that's why, because the file path is not matching. So I was like, okay. So I took the SD card, the 64 SD card, took it out of my old phone, the one I'm using right now. I put it in my 5G device. Then I switched the setting to SD card storage. And then I uploaded all my audio files to both internal and SD card, and it still don't work.
Huh.
And I choose both the file paths. I don't know.
Yeah, I've tried everything. I've tried uninstalling and reinstalling, and I'm like getting ready to break down and like email customer service.
Yeah, that's how I've been, dude. That's how I was. I fucking broke down a bit earlier. I fucking slammed liquor. That's why I'm so calm right now, is because I fucking just put a bottle in my mouth and just guzzled it. Because I was so fucking heated, and now I think I got that over effect of it. Because now I'm just like super
cheers,
sedative.
Man. Yeah, cheers, man. I'm drinking.
Yeah, right, man. I'm fucking about to hit the liquor. But I fucking just, whenever I'm real frustrated, I just fucking grab that shit and just fucking pour it down my throat, because I know I'm gonna get a fucking head rush.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing. No, I don't eat sugar much, and I watch my glucose very carefully. So.
Actually, that's ironic. So do I. I'm on like a no sugar diet.
Exactly, same here. So I drink.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you're not so bad for a pushy guy. And here she is, the one from the down under. Rowdy. I mean, howdy. Let's get rowdy. This is my little wonder from down under. Can't sleep 1, 2, 3. Hey, man, you sound. I like your voice a lot, man. You have a very, very attractive voice, and you have a very attractive mind so far. So I know I was very just dismissive when you initially came in, but. You've intrigued me.
Oh, it's fine. At that point, it proposed a challenge to me, so I was like, I need to talk to this gentleman.
Because, like, sometimes I do really profound conversations, but, like, right then I was like, nigga, I'm just trying to listen to some music. No, but it's interesting. I think there is a way to problem solve this problem, because I've done it before.
So, I had luck with doing something. So my tablet has an external storage. And I found that if I put my intro to my show on the external SD card and I put it in, I'm getting better results for where I could place the file within the internal storage.
More directory.
Right, but it's still giving me the file you want to upload does not exist.
I'm trying to think here. My mind is playing.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Huh.
You know, it sucks.
Because I know it has to be something so minuscule.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
But it's retarded because if the device that you're currently, the only device that works, if that one goes to shit, then you're fucked.
Well, so I use the tablet when I'm doing like live shows with my co-host and he's in town.
Can't sleep.
But typically I have like an audio setup that I use with a computer and mics and a mix board and stuff.
Have you tried plugging your phone into the computer itself or just the external?
Well, actually, what I did was I started using the computer to do the live shows because I have everything right there, and I just said, fuck the tablet.
I mean, absolutely. But have you plugged in the tablet to the computer? Just curious.
No.
Because I think that might work.
I should try that and see what it does.
Because I think that's how I got this phone to work. Because I have a desktop as well, and that's my next course of action is I'm going to plug. I think there's something that has to do with that. I think, but it's fucking frustrating. Podbean needs to get that shit figured out.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's something to really chew on a little bit. So you know how Podbean's always doing all these new updates?
Yes.
What they could have did in this new update, they could have just left a certain iOS system or an Android system out of the equation. That's why we can't upload.
So a possible solution would be downloading an old version?
Maybe, or contacting customer service or waiting for the new update, because when I was using my old device, I didn't have this problem.
I'm using this old device, and the only thing that worries me is that the screen is crumbling apart to the point where it's like very, very, I expect it to stop working at any moment.
I have a very easy solution for you. Are you located near a nail shop? Do you know anybody that does fingernails? Do you know anybody that does that?
I'm near a nail shop in theory.
Okay, so reality is my wife, she was a cosmetologist for a long time. Whenever our screens would break and start falling apart, you can actually go to these nail shops. They will put gel coat and UV light it, and it's just as good as a new screen.
Really? Well, I'm considering just going and paying $100 and just getting this screen replaced, honestly.
Oh, yeah, dude, just do that. Don't be a cheap ass. Come on.
Right, well, I mean, shit. I wanted to spend the money on fucking cocaine and hookers, man. I'm just kidding.
Man, I wish I had some cocaine and hookers.
Fucking A, dude, no, I got some fucking methamphetamine and fucking sex doll. That's really my reality.
Well, I mean, you know, at least she doesn't complain.
Oh yeah, exactly. And she don't care that I bust quick. She don't even fucking give a fuck.
So, Rico, tell me more about your show and what you normally do, because I'm curious.
Okay, so this is the thing. I've been on Podbean. This is my first platform. I am a contemporary mystic, philosopher, nonconformist, freedom, like I would say libertarian, you could say almost. Because I just stand...
Oh, we will butt heads at some point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this is my thing. I'm a process master. I like sociology, and I've been a human watcher since I was a little kid, and all these kind of things, and I understand human nature, so I don't get caught up with, like this misconstrued validation thing, and this whole seeking affection from the contemporary dating pool kind of thing, which leaves me free. So I'm just a young man, but the only problem, so that's kind of it. I'm just an intelligent guy, but I'm also down for the cause. I'm not like a guy who, I really don't like I'm not a lame dude. I don't sit there and start drama shit, but sometimes it's like I'll be talking some profound, like I'm trying to figure out what the fuck reality is, like, oh my goodness, like, can we evolve or can we ascend? But then sometimes I'm like, yo, just let's enjoy the night, and if we die tonight, fuck it. So, but definitely, I'm one of those kind of guys.
Well, first off, I don't know what cause you're fighting for. Secondly, I don't think ascension is within our lifetime.
I disagree, but respectfully. I'm an optimist.
I think it's close, but I don't think it's going to be within our lifetimes. I don't think the human brain has developed enough for ascension.
See, I just expect the unexpected. That's one of my things. Like, so, new information breeds new decisions. But so I would never tell myself that that new information can't hit me.
But the one thing I definitely can agree with you on is how you mentioned you study people. You're a people watcher.
Yeah, sociology and shit like this.
I've done that since I was a kid. I'm always reading people.
Yes, I'm one of the best. I'm one of the brightest. Even though I'm fucking very bad off in chemical addiction and drinking every day, I'm still sharp. Still sharp as a tack. Because the non-distraction.
Oh no, I get that side of it. Like I get having, like, for me it's like I have a very overactive brain. I cannot sleep at night, but if I have a few drinks, I'm good.
Uh-oh, can't sleep. 1, 2, 3.
So I will tell you, I have to be honest with you. I think I'm a little bit better at reading people than you are, because when I jumped into your show, you thought I was a dick, and I was like, I'll get.
I didn't think you were a dick. I just was like, I just didn't want to perform for you, but I didn't think anything of you. I actually was impressed that you wanted to talk. I just felt like shit because I didn't have the energy at the moment. Like my head was down, and I was just like, ugh. But now I'm more up. Because I haven't ate in 30 hours. I was about to go get dinner.
That's not healthy.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for me being so smart, I'm very unhealthy. But it doesn't really affect me too much because I'm so used to it. I've habituated myself, so it's not like a shock. I'm used to fasting. I usually eat once every 30 hours. I'm a intermittent faster, and I am a sleep deprivated. I stay up every 3 days. I sleep 1 day every 3 days.
Oh, I can never do that.
Oh, yes, exactly. So I'm an extremist.
I could never.
It's crazy, man. My life is fucking nuts, dude. I'm just waiting to deteriorate. It's kind of a weird thing.
I just have to say, I don't know how you're in a mental institute. Like, that's insane.
Intermittent fasting?
That's crazy. No, the, like, not sleeping, not eating.
It's called methamphetamines.
The insane part. I know it's called methamphetamines.
That's it. Without meth, I sleep and eat every day. Oh, as soon as I smoke meth, no need to sleep or eat. That's it.
No.
That's the only thing I use. But once I get to that sleep-deprived state, that's its own little thing. But it's really hard for me. As soon as I'm off drugs, I cannot stay awake. And I just am a glutton.
Is that you in your profile picture?
Yes, it is. And if you'd like to check out my Instagram, it's Hypertheorist Methodologies.
Well, no, I wouldn't, but I just wanted to comment. You're a very good-looking gentleman.
I am, surprisingly, for the amount of torture I've been doing to myself for the last decade.
Yeah. Can't sleep 1, 2, 3. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Codename Jester. I just wanted to introduce myself so you knew who I was. So I'm not just some random guy.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Doomsday. I told you a little brief about myself. Give me a little bio about yourself, please.
I'll sum it up. Basically, I was raised as a country boy on a horse ranch outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Grew up in the North. I do not agree with Northern beliefs. I myself am a conservative patriot of this country.
Good for you.
I have my fingers in a lot of different things throughout life. We own a business. I am prior law enforcement, and I've also been a career welder. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's okay.
I've also been a career welder for 15 years.
Well.
You know, got the kids, got the wife, got the house, got the property, got all that stuff in order. And at some point in my life, back in 2012, we decided we had to be doomsday preppers. Nice. This led into the show I do today. Oh. And I am now myself. I do not identify as an empath because I do not consider myself one, but I'm very close.
Because you're much more than that.
Well, maybe, but since I was a little kid, I've always got premonitions and
interesting
about different things here and there, and that's what kind of led me into doing the show as well, because we are able to see future outcomes of things. Not like
so. You and your wife are saying when you say we?
No, me and myself.
Okay, we. Okay.
There's me.
Okay, I never refer to myself as we. That's why I was just wondering.
Well, there might be an extra chromosome or two bouncing around.
Right. It's just one of those things I haven't developed yet. Interesting. Hey, man, can I just say how I appreciate how fucking much I think we can get along, even though we have complete different lives. I think me and you are very similar, even though we have totally different experiences.
And like I know if we would talk about political views, it would all.
No, I'm a conservative patriot as well.
That.
Pretty much.
Well. When you mention libertarian...
Well, I say that as just opposed, like, libertarian, that's pretty conservative if you think about it, like free liberty, patriotism, freedom.
Okay, it is.
I didn't say I'm a liberal.
100% right. Well, but the issue we've had is that people that are liberal choose to identify with the Democratic Party because they closely follow their beliefs. But in reality,
I think it used to be like that. I think now it's something else.
I think it used to be worse, to be honest with you.
Really? I think maybe, I don't know. I really don't know the past, but all I know is conservatives ain't shit. I mean, liberals ain't shit now. In my opinion.
No, because the Senate, the government, our system that we have now in this country, they don't identify the Libertarian Party as something serious.
Well, I think they've been infiltrated. I think they've been infiltrated by corporations and shit like this.
Yeah, you got the lobbyists that come in there and they tear shit up and they're like, hey, we're going to pay you to think this way. We're going to pay you to improve
using
this. So, the lobbyists
it's a fucked up thing. So that's why I do respect conservatives. And the only reason I say I'm more libertarian because that's the thing that I gain my power from, just the ultimate freedom of just whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm a bit sociopathic. I don't want to say I'm a sociopath because people usually will think, oh, if I were to claim sociopath, that's just a wannabe sociopath. So I don't want to claim I'm a sociopath because no one ever believes anybody who says that. But I'll say I'm a bit sociopathic because I just don't give a fuck.
So we could break that down a little bit because a lot of people confuse being a sociopath with having psychopathy and being a psychopath.
Yeah, this is one thing that I'm starting to consider as well. I've tried looking at the I've studied them both. I think I'm more sociopathic, but the only thing I claim that from is based on my lack of morals, my lack of. I'm just very selfish and things like this. I don't really feel bad for just hurting things, but I'm not a bully. I don't bully and start shit, but I don't feel
right, and
any
that's
problem.
That's something. Yeah, that's something that comes with being a sociopath. But let me tell you this, and a lot of people will not say this. It is okay to be all about yourself because at the end of the day, that's all you have to rely on.
Right. Well, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And as me specifically, I don't know if you come from I was alone since I was very little. My parents split up when I was young, and then I've been on this journey since then.
Well, I was adopted, so I never knew really who my real family was.
What age did you get adopted, if you don't mind me asking?
I was a baby. I was like a month old.
Did you know? When did you find out?
Anybody. Well, so I honestly couldn't give you an answer because my parents never kept it hidden from me.
Oh, they just, as soon as you were able to learn, they were like, oh, you're our adopted kid.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So
okay, that's probably better. I think that's more responsible, if anything.
I think it is, but I think that they did it wrong. Because in my personal opinion, giving somebody that truth at a young age is a good thing.
Right, just because they can never say you were hiding it from them, but then they were too young to understand what that meant as far as their role.
Well, my opinion is, you don't know where you come from. So Heritage Day comes up in school and you're like, what the fuck? And then you're too young to understand the reasons of adoption, and you're too young to understand.
Let me ask you this:
why
So you sound like you're a Caucasian, Caucasoid. Were you adopted by people who looked even similar to you, or were you adopted by blatantly, obviously, different people?
Yes, I am albino, and I was adopted by the albino people.
Right. So yeah, okay.
I'm a Caucasian male. I ended up discovering my heritage later in life. I am Italian and Irish, so the derogatory term is a WAP. I am a WAP. That's the derogatory term.
WAP, lady WAP.
But however,
wet ass pussy. No, I'm just kidding.
However, I mean, the biggest challenge for me growing up was not knowing my heritage. During Heritage Day in school and stuff like that, it was always this question of, where do I come from? And then the biggest thing for me is we had a big family growing up.
Absolutely.
And I was always casted aside because I was the black sheep of the family, which really sucked.
Right, the non-blood member.
Right, exactly. I was the FedEx kid.
Exactly.
So that sucked. It wasn't a good
time. Right, you were there because they had to let you there, not because they really wanted you there.
Exactly.
I understand you.
So whenever the cousins and family would get together for an event, I was the last person that would get an invite.
How'd that affect you?
How it was.
As far as your ferocity, your ferocity.
So what it did was it put me in a mindset of friends are more important than family.
Blood is thicker than water.
I still stick by that today.
Something like that. No, water, something like that. The opposite of that.
Well, that's what they. Yeah, the opposite of that, because I found better relationships with friends than I ever did with family.
Interesting, yes.
You know, I've got
I
friends
think that is a very powerful tool to utilize if your family ain't shit.
Right, my family ain't shit. Like,
my family really ain't shit either, man.
Really, really bad, and they always cast judgment on me every chance they get.
But I'm so glad I was able to make some friends in this life.
Okay, this has been an interesting chat. It was nice to get to know you all. I'm going to go be a productive member.
Can't sleep. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for stopping in, little wonder.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Can't Sleep. You didn't get to say much. Do you want to say anything else before you jump out?
Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks.
You cunt. Yeah. Get out of here, you little cunty bastard. Little Can't Sleep. She's cool. Man, so let me change the subject a little bit. We'll get back to some more. Like, thank you for sharing a little bit. Let's take a digress on that. I wonder, how long have you been podcasting?
We've been doing this for over a year now, and we do a show where it's a it's a new episode every week, and we've got listeners in I think it's 25 different countries now. So we've gained a little bit of popularity. We're not uber popular, but we've gained some popularity. And we do the show purely for the enjoyment of doing the show.
Right.
I've got a co-host that does it, and he's one of my best friends in the world.
Did you start with a co-host, or did you bring him on? I'm curious.
Well, actually, I started with 4 co-hosts. And they all came up short somewhere along the lines, and I ended up with 1.
Right.
But the one is he's a really good buddy of mine.
I'm really glad, man. I'm really glad you came in my room, by the way. I just want to thank you for coming in and chatting with me, man. I have so many questions for you, and I would love to pick your brain, and I don't know how much time we have tonight, but man, you definitely seem like a man of well of knowledge that I would be interested in associating with. Because I've started this podcast, and I have 62 episodes, and they're gold. Each one of them are fucking fire. Either it's not just me kicking it, playing music. I'm talking it's good dialogue, no dead air. I don't say or you know. I don't know if you've noticed that. I have not said or you know one time since you started talking to me. I don't say that. And
I do that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very controlled. I'm a really weird guy like this, so that's why I love the fact, just almost like you. You said you have a podcast, you do it not for money. The same thing is I always had these thoughts. Right. I've been a hyper thinker for years and years and years. And this podcasting thing is my way to, before I die or self-destruct or whatever the case, I could show that this way of perception exists. So I would be honored if you ever consider checking out my show. It's here on Podbean. Where did you start your podcasting? Where was your main host?
Well, actually, we started using Podbean as our hosting platform to Spotify. However, we didn't get into live shows until after we were about a year in.
Interesting.
And it was kind of a situation where it was like a gift to the listeners because it was kind of requested.
To go live?
So we said, to go live.
Yeah, I did my first 20 episodes just me and talking to a recorder, and then I started going live after that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like my co-host, he doesn't live close to me, so we can't get together in person a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's a dang shame.
The other thing, so most of the stuff we have to do over the phone, and we found out that doing the live shows is actually beneficial.
Yeah, live is fun, man. Live is fun.
Requested it, we started doing it. Yeah,
it takes a little time, but if you got a swag, you can definitely become notarized.
Right, and my co-host, he's the best way I could describe him. He's not a white guy, but he's a redneck. So it's really interesting.
I'm going to tell you a little fun fact about myself, and I wonder if you can claim the same thing. And so this is going to sound a little interesting as a human claiming this. This is how I like to tell people, when I'm this, you said how he's a redneck, I'm everything. That's how I like to perceive myself. I'm all. I'm a country boy. I'm a Yankee. I'm a good. I'm evil. I'm kind. I'm harsh. I do not limit myself. And I lived in Texas, Louisiana. I love the South. I'm a country boy. I'm a country boy, but that's not all I am. So I like to say I'm not limited to any specific thing. So I could definitely, when I do appreciate, I understand the country culture and I used to wear steel-toe cowboy boots just for fun. Like, I understand the cause, buddy. I've been fucking a flip cup and fucking beer pong for days. And so if you just, only reason I want to say this is because I wonder if you have ever told yourself something similar, but I also want you to know that there's pretty much, I can definitely, you don't ever have to worry about me just being like, oh, that fucking country bumpkin that, like, oh, look at that white guy. No, like, I never looked at myself as, I'm not a nationalist. I'm a patriot, but I'm not a nationalist. I've never really had a family, so I just don't even consider myself a nationality. I just consider myself a being.
Well, to answer your question as bestly that I can, I would say that my life has went through phases.
Mm.
And, so when I was little, I grew up on a horse ranch, and Justin boots and blue jeans and T-shirts and hats are the only thing I wore. And I only listened to country music. And I got bullied really bad as a kid for that, even though I grew up in the fucking sticks in the middle of nowhere. That's not what was cool at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my ass chewed out and bullied all the time. Whenever I became a teenager, I hung out with the goth kids because
hell yeah,
they were the coolest people and they threw the best parties. I never identified as goth or anything else, but these were the best kids to hang out with in my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
As I got a little bit older, I started hanging out with the thugs and the gangsters because I found out hanging out with these kids, we run shit.
Right.
You know, and that's awesome.
Profits and such.
As I got a little bit older after that, I discovered I was more of a metalhead, and I wanted to hang out with the metalheads and the punk rock guys and the goth guys, and that's what I identified as. And then as life went on, as you grow into adulthood and realize responsibility and, you know, you have to live for yourself, I think what it came down to was a combination of all those things. So,
right.
You know, my wife and I are very dark. We're Matisha and Gomez.
I love it.
Hands down. That's who we are. And we are both big metalheads. We travel across the country to go to metal shows. And
just a crazy motherfucker.
Pretty much every piece of wardrobe we own is black. We don't dress in white like ever. We always wear black. It's just who we are. But we don't look like goth people when we do it.
I wear two different shoes every day on purpose.
That's interesting.
It is. And they're nice shoes. They're fucking fresh, but I just like not to wear the same shoes. It's something I adopted recently.
But like we don't fit the norm of society where we're at.
Yeah, society.
And we like that. We like not. Yeah, we like not being a part of that norm.
Man, you see, like, I feel like you were well equipped with this face thing. And I'm not trying to look for pity or anything, but so I was like, but I don't like turn the subject negative or nothing, but basically there's something that I've been dealing with lately is this lack of being able to phase shift, paradigm shift, because whereas you mentioned you went through this phase and then you went to the goth and you went to the metal, I feel like I'm stuck in a phase, and albeit it's a very respectable to self phase, and I'm very likable, and I do all right. Like it's almost like the phase is too much for me to handle, in a sense.
What rule out there, or who says you have to phase shift?
I would think just because of it's just so extreme, my phase that I'm in, that this is unsustainable, and no one but myself has thought this. It's really my own self-doubt at this point because of just how extreme it is. And I think it's really great, and I don't want you to pity me or nothing, but I really do am intrigued on how you were able to phase shift so regularly.
Well, I mean, this was over the course of years in my experience, but however, if you yourself are identifying that there's maybe an issue or there's a problem and you don't feel comfortable with the phase you're in, I mean, I would assume that would be your motivation to shift into a new phase.
Right. It's like, it's the skin of it's it's finer than hair, this line that I'm on. That it's like change, but then like, no. Like I'm fucking, it's very paradoxical.
See, for me, it's like, and I'm not talking shit when I say this, and I'm not looking down on you.
Right, and this is why I was like, I almost hate to bring it up on our first talk, but go ahead.
Right. No, but I don't judge people at all. You know, you do you. That's
Mm-hmm.
live and let live. That's
Thank
my
you.
mentality. But I don't condone the use of extreme drugs. I don't condone the use of hard drugs. I mean, I don't give a shit about alcohol, weed, cigarettes. Like, I don't care.
And
about
I can't say you're wrong for that, but I can say that I do condone it, and that's a choice I have to live with now.
Well, the reason I have a problem with it, and this is I've watched people's lives get destroyed due to drug use. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm in the middle of that process, man, because it's like I have nobody except for me. I'm my judge, jury, and executioner, and I'm like, when I'm like, okay, maybe now you don't need to do the drugs. Like, I could see, oh, you experimented. It's like, I've been wanting to let them go for some time, but no one's gonna make me. No one's like, I'm so mentally profound that I could do drugs 24/7, and no one will ever think I'm mentally fucked up. It's not like I'm sitting there, I'm not schizophrenic or anything, but I do so much fucking drugs that it's like, I'm not going to get put away, but I'm probably going to die. But no, I'm very hyper-regenerative as well. My thing is, this phase shifting, I'm interested in phase shifting.
So, I mean, to be 100% honest with you, you sound very well put together. If you didn't give me the information you did, I would have no idea that drugs played a factor.
Exactly. It's honestly, a fucking thing.
Like, you sound very put together. You sound very on point with all your thoughts and beliefs. There's nothing to suggest that you were on anything, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's a problem, and I'll tell you what.
I see that. Actually, saying that just like I could handle it. My body is just, some people just couldn't handle it but I've definitely assessed this as well, because my mind would have deteriorated a long time ago if I would have done that.
Well, like every area around the country has their own issues with drugs. The area I live in happens to be methamphetamine, and I see a lot of people on the streets, a lot of people, you know, shitting on the sidewalk, and they're all fucked up, and it's like, you know, it's like, damn.
I've never even got to that point, and let me tell you, and I know you're not, like, I don't want to like seem like a crazy guy, don't dismiss me, but I shoot up to this day, and I've never even gotten to that like weird little point, which I'm not trying to say I'm better than them, but it's because I do have a paradigm in which there's something to it, for sure.
Well, I mean, but honestly, if you're not to that point, you got to take a little bit of self-recognition and think you are better than them.
In the processes, yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So but I'm not judging you. I'm not saying anything negative or anything like that. However, I do think that, you know, sustaining our own existence.
That's why it's so interesting that you're not, because I love the fact that you're anti-drug, because me, talking to myself, all I do, I'm very isolated, even though I'm very attractive, very social, very, very, very nice guy. But I hate distractions, and I hate drama, and I hate bullshit, all these things. So I separate myself, and I don't have any kids. I'm 29 years old. I don't have a girl. I found love one time. We broke up years ago. And all this, so I'm just in my own little world, and I'm this man who's trying to figure out, just become a superhuman before it's all said and done, or just have a superhuman life, just have a great life. And my point in bringing that up is I love the fact you're not a druggie, because I think if you do honor me with your presence more often, I would love to see how a mind like yours works.
Let me ask you a question, because I'm not ready to end this podcast. I want to keep going.
Yeah,
I'm
you're fine.
Enjoying what's going on. I'm really enjoying this. But I have an issue. I ran out of beer, and I got to run down and grab another case of beer. Would you be okay with managing about 2 minutes of dead air while I go grab another beer and take a piss?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm gonna run down. I'm gonna grab another case of beer out of the fridge and take. All right,
see you in a few minutes.
2-3 minutes. I'll be right back.
Kristen, this is a very interesting question. Kristen, I feel like if I ask for help, that is the point of no return. I feel like I'm close. I'm still functioning, so this is the only reason I don't seek help, because I still feel I'm within my power to help myself. But as time goes forward, this trust and confidence in myself weakens. And this fucked up, stupid fucking Rico, stupid part of myself hopes that I don't even have to make it to that point. That I just can just let it, and I don't even say what I want to say, but you understand what I mean by, like, I hope that either I fix myself or it fixes me before I would even need to ask for help. Because I feel like if I ask for help, then it's just this weird, I've always been alone. I've never been to the hospital for any sickness. Since I've been 18, I've never went for a single checkup. It's just, I've always just took care of myself. And this is where I think I have a problem with seeking outside help. Because I've never had help. So I don't understand the concept. But it's interesting, Kristen. I might need help. Because I'm drinking too. And that's the thing that's pissing me off, because it's bad enough that I'm dealing with this very intense narcotic addiction, but the alcohol is progressing and it's getting stronger and stronger. I'm drinking a lot every day on top of it, which is just making my fucking trust in myself even worse, and it's making me, it just adds. But I'm not hopeless, obviously. Like, I'm still having a little bit of fun and I'm still awesome and everything. But it does make you wonder, it's like, kid, are you fucking destroying your body just because you have no control? Because that is the only thing. Now, I don't believe I am, but I'm thinking if there's a chance, that would suck if I die within the next couple months just because I've been just going so hard for so long, versus a man who could live for, let's say, 100 years. Although, to me, it's more about the journey, not the destination. But it's these, I think about this shit all the time, Kristen. I'm still good. Like, I'm trying to figure all this out. I'm trying to figure out why and that's why I'm even talking to this guy about it, because I feel like now I'm being weak about it. I feel like I am over the drugs. I'm so happy about other shit. I have so many other ambitions now, whereas I didn't have them before, so I can understand why I took to the drugs. But now it's where I would be at phase shift. And the fact that I'm delaying, it's really bothering me a little bit. But you want to be funny. Kristen, thank you for talking, Kristen. It's great to see you, my little sweet thing. I'm loving you. It's your main man, Rico Roxx here. I got my buddy, mysterious man here. I'm very intrigued by him. He sounds like somebody on my level. Welcome back, Doomsday. Preppa. You can unmute yourself whenever you're ready to jump back in. Let me see what time it is. I might have to run to the... Yeah. I'm loving you, Rico. So I have to make a liquor run as well. You have me muted. Yeah, unmute yourself. I can't unmute you, unfortunately. Podbean has this feature where you have to unmute yourself. It's the dumbest thing. So even, like, if I want you muted, I can't mute you or unmute you. You have that control. Thank you, Kristen. Number 5 times 2, because you were dying, baby. So Doomsday, click on your own profile picture and then unmute yourself. Or the little mic on the bottom right. There you go. Welcome back.
Okay.
So now, I asked you the same thing. Can you handle a few minutes of...
Now we got it.
Can you handle a few minutes of you keeping the banter going while I go make a quick run?
Yeah, I could probably do that now that I figured out how to unmute myself. Thank you for the assistance with that, because holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's the dumbest thing in the world, bro. Like, if I can't, I have no control of who gets muted or unmuted. Which is like, if you're bothering me, you can still just unmute yourself. It's pretty funny.
Okay, so I'll go ahead. You go grab your drink. You do what you do. I'll follow the chat here while we go.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of my own songs, because I'm going to more than likely make this an episode, and I hate dead air, and I hate editing, so I like to just make it a continuous thing. So to even help us, I'm going to play some original tracks, and then I should make it to outside the liquor store within a few minutes. So.
Okay, play it on a little bit of a lower volume, so just in case we get a call in, I could communicate.
You got it, boss.
Successfully.
Well, you know what? In that case, I'll just play a little bit of ambiance then, just in case.
Okay, that works. Rachel entered the live studio.
Yeah, man, it's your show now.
I don't know if you're still here.
They want to cops
how are you
over.
doing tonight?
One of them asked me, what gang you in? I said, the one that gang banged your mama! Job, fuck a job!
Okay, I can't resist.
I was going to say, it's a little loud, but I'll deal with it if we need to.
Yeah, okay. That's just a little nonsense. Alright, I'm going to run. I'm going to start hitting my mission. I'm going to mute. I can't even mute myself, I don't think. Alright, so I'm just going to.
Oh, do what you do, man. Do your thing.
Alright. Yeah, figure me out, brother.
Okay. So, codename Jester here, temporarily taking over for Rico Roxx. We've got Kristen in the live studio, and she says, he is hardcore, figure him out. And while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and follow Rico's show, just so we got that under wraps here. So, Kristen, how are you doing tonight? I got no response. We need to keep this show alive in the meantime.
Yeah, don't let my shit be
hugging you. Baby hugging you. Are you actually hugging babies, or are you referring to you're hugging me? Because hugging babies is good. Oh, you're hugging Rico. Okay.
Kristen.
I mean, he's a pretty good-looking guy. I'd probably hug him, too. So, Kristen 5, are you a regular listener of Rico?
Rock and roll, baby. Time to burn rubber.
Rock and roll, Rico. Kristen says maybe. Kristen, you don't need to be mysterious with me because, frankly, I just don't care that much. So, if you want to be mysterious, it's only for your own amusement, not mine.
Fucking my wallet. Shit. Oh, there it is. Okay, got the wallet.
So, Kristen, you're more than welcome to call in and shoot the shit with me till Rico gets back if you're feeling froggy, if you want to do that. In the meantime, while we're waiting for Joseph, welcome to the live studio, Joseph. I am currently co-hosting and helping out Rico's show while he goes on a special mission. He should be back shortly. And one thing I wanted to do, the thing that piqued my interest to Rico's show, was I got onto the show and I saw the background image he's got here. Welcome, PBGC5074AHGBR. What is that noise in the background?
I'm going to mute myself. I'm skateboarding.
Okay, there. Okay, Rico was on the skateboard. He muted himself. He's good now. We're going to have a little bit of silence, but I'm going to try to keep this going. And no, I don't suck, you suck, Kristen. FYI. But anyway, the thing that piqued my interest in Rico's show at the moment was this background. And I myself carry sidearms, and I'm looking at this, and I've been trying to identify this. So I see 2 Glocks, and I see also what looks to be like a high-class reserve. It looks like there's either stuffed into the belt. And the little revolver at the bottom there, I'm trying to remember the name of the... It looks like a Derringer, is what it looks like. And I just thought that was a pretty badass setup because a lot of people don't know this, but when you purchase a concealed weapon permit, this is concealed, but most states that have an open carry policy, they do not have a limit on weapons. So wherever this gentleman is, this could be perfectly legal. Kristen 5 says, I don't like you or your radio. That's fine, Kristen. I don't like you.
I'm a big fan of it, actually.
Either. Thank you, Rico, for being a big fan of.
I'm rolling up to the liquor store as we speak. I think I made a record time.
I'm really curious. What kind of liquor are you going to buy there, Rico?
I'm going to buy probably some whiskey tonight.
What kind of whiskey are you going to buy?
That's a good question. Maybe some, what do they call, I just said there. I hate that. I just said that. What do they call, what is that kind of like, I'm trying to look. Oh, what they call, what is the kind?
I got
Jameson.
I got a suggestion. I got a suggestion for you. I don't know if you'd be into this, but it just came out. It's called the Devil's Sister, and it's a peach whiskey. It's really good.
I wonder if they have it here.
Or if they don't have that, Old Smoky salted caramel whiskey. Oh my God, dude, it's fire. It's really good.
Damn, fancy. Well, they definitely have a nice selection. I'm gonna check. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn off the music because. All right, Kristen, thank you for stepping in, you beautiful soul.
Yes, thank you for Kristen. I enjoyed all your kind words.
Kristen, she's a hoot. She's a hoot. I love her.
I like her. She's okay.
Hello, brother. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna see if they got any of that. Because
Devil's Sister Peach. If they got that, bro, you can't go wrong.
Let me see here. And what was the second option?
It was Old Smoky salted caramel whiskey. Right now, I'm currently drinking Jack Daniel's Tennessee Apple.
I'll take one of each of these I'll take a Jack Daniel regular, a Jack Daniel Apple, and a Jack Daniel Honey. One of each.
Oh, all right, dude. All right.
Thank you. And then
I'm drinking the Apple right now.
Now me is David. Hey. This is pretty fire. That's how you keep your night going right there. Alright, I'll take it back, please. I was in a rush. I didn't even bring it up. Thank you. Have a great night, man. Alright.
It didn't even sound like you were at the liquor store. It sounded like you were at the club.
Right? Yeah. No, man. That was what they call Pakistani liquor store.
So I am curious because you mentioned being in Texas, you mentioned being a Yankee, you mentioned all these different places you resided. Where are you at now? You don't have to give me specifics, but like where are you now?
So I've been in California for a year and a half. I've lived in Upper Peninsula, Michigan before this, but yes, I'm in LA right now.
Oh, wow, So I'll tell you, I've been to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Where?
A lot going on up
Where'd you go?
Oh God, what was the name of the town?
Calumet?
It was a bigger town.
Houghton?
Pretty far north of the peninsula. No, that's not it.
Oh,
shit.
Maybe, I'm trying to think. I haven't really been thinking of names. But yeah, no, I was way up there, man. I was way the fuck up there. I was at the very past. I was past the Mackinac Bridge, or not past, I was way past that, but I was on the very past the Royal Isle and everything.
Yeah, I was way up there. Oh, welcome, Mr. Clean, to the show.
Yeah, Mr. Clean, hello. The screen is off, but okay, let's get back to this. Thank you so much for your patience. By the way, we were kind of we were cowboying this because we don't want it to end, but I think we're both where we need to be now.
Exactly. But no, I've got family in Michigan outside of Detroit, but I had to go up to the Upper Peninsula, and I can tell you there's not a lot going on up there.
Oh, no.
But how you mentioned you live in Texas, I also lived in Texas for a little while, too. So
East or West?
Actually, middle of Texas and west.
Nice. I lived in East Texas.
No, east. I'm sorry, east.
I lived near Tyler.
East. I lived in Oh, okay. All right. I know where Tyler is.
Yeah, I worked there.
When I first got to Texas, I lived in a little county called Eastland. It was a dry county.
Yep.
But it was halfway in between Weatherford and Abilene.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
It was. But then I also lived in Houston, a little outside of Chinatown. So that would be East Texas.
Yeah,
I lived in Chinatown.
Interesting.
Like right outside of Chinatown.
You ever live in Louisiana?
Yeah. In Louisiana, no, but I have drove through there a lot.
Nice. I lived there. I got when I was 22 years old, I got a 37-year-old woman pregnant in Louisiana. That sucks.
Yeah, no,
it did. I did not like her either. I was like, shit. But she miscarried, thank goodness.
You know, blessings come in all forms, I guess.
Yes. Man.
But you're in LA now, and I got to tell you, I fucking hate LA. I absolutely hate LA.
I have not social. I've been out here in LA for 1 year. I have not made a single friend because I haven't made. But so you can imagine my LA experience is a very interesting one because it's not like I've been out here doing this whole LA experience. No, I've been out here just in a laboratory basically. So it's not like I'm just really just in a warm climate. But it's not like I'm really social out here. But I like this. I like the fact that I have time to be by myself and not. The only thing is now I'm off the drugs.
Mr. Clean says at Rico, hey Rico, stop protecting Leisha. Leisha or Lisha?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for transcribing that. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Leisha, yeah, Leisha. This is my little homegirl.
Chelsea 16.
I have this one little girl that's one of my friends on Podbean, and she's a little interesting, and everyone wants to put her down. And I'm not someone who just puts people down just because. As long as she does right by me, I'm gonna do right by her.
Well, Mr. Clean, I know your show, and I'm not I'm not trying to be like
he's not a messenger
bad
boy
guy here, but right, I'm not the messenger, but Mr. Clean, do you want to respond to that in any way?
Yeah, dude, it's like I don't know, like she never done wrong by me.
But no, so I spent a little bit of time in LA because my ex-fiance was shooting a show out there for HGTV, and I went out and I spent some time in LA, and I discovered after about 6 or 7 days I hate LA.
What made you come to this conclusion, if you don't mind me asking?
First off was the noise. You cannot sleep at night. There's always a
helicopter,
a siren,
racing cars,
some noise. Right, you can't sleep.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's like at night it turns into a fucking Need for Speed video game.
And then the other thing is the cost of everything is ridiculous.
Right, yeah, if you were to want to have your own property and like your own things, yeah.
Well, anything.
Like I rent a room, so I live under my means.
Right, so, and that's kind of what you need to do in LA.
Right, yeah,
like,
that's the only way.
What you need to do.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm out here right now.
And the other thing is like, things that are glorified in LA really turn to shit at night. Like, everybody talks about how awesome Hollywood Boulevard is.
Right.
And you go there at nighttime, and it's not what you see in the movies. And then the buses out there are very confusing.
Yeah, LA is not that great unless you like doing drugs.
I guess, but
if you love drugs, it's paradise, bro. And that's why coming is a test to myself because I put myself in the den, basically in the pit.
Welcome. Wow, a bunch of people just joined. Welcome, Sports. It's Quinnock.
Let me tell you one of the things that I'm most fascinated about you, and where I think me and you can really break ground here is. Me and you both obviously are fucking mentally there. Me and you are both conversationalists. Me and you are both tactical. Me and you are both very mindful people, I could tell. But one thing that really fascinates me about you, and which I cannot force myself into that perception, is this stability, this, I went with a girlfriend and she was on a show, like this thing where you had options. I've always been barely scraping on survival, so I've gained my mind through midst survival, and it seems that you have a better grasp of stability, and this is where I would really like to start heading if I could. So this is where I'm really fascinated by how someone could maintain such a profound mind and then be stable and still seem to have an understanding of multitudes of things. Because I would like to transition from this survivalist to a man who is not.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with being survivalist, depending on in which context.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like just never been able to maintain more than not survivalist in the sense of prepping, but survivalist is in the sense of never being able to advance beyond the bare minimum, and definitely my own fault.
So I think that. You know, we all, I've gone through times in my life where I wasn't worried about what was coming tomorrow. And I went through times in my life where it was, fuck it. If the rent gets paid, the rent gets paid. If not, I'll just figure something out. Like, I've went through those stages.
Did it ever go bad? Did you ever not be able to pay rent?
There was a few times things got sketchy, but I was.
How bad did it ever get for you? Were you ever homeless?
Briefly.
Can you tell me about that a little bit, just for context?
Yeah. So actually, I was living in Houston, Texas, and I was working 2 jobs, really struggling to make ends meet. I was a repo guy at night, repoing cars, and in the daytime, I was working at Jiffy Lube changing oil. And I had an old boss that hit me up. He was down in Florida, and he worked for a company called Asphalt. And he told me, he said, bro, he said, I know you're a good worker. Like, he used to be my boss. So he said, I know you're a good worker, this, that, the other. He was like, you need to get rid of your house, do all this shit. I'm going to come get you, and you're going to come down to Florida, and you're going to make a shit ton of money.
And what'd you say to that?
I said, fuck yeah, dude, let's go. So I signed over the lease on my townhouse, and, I basically have all my shit in a storage unit, and I'm waiting for this guy to, like, come through with all this shit that he promised me, and he didn't. So he gives me,
that's a valuable lesson to learn, though.
Oh, yeah. So his brother shoots me a text message, says, hey, my brother's in the hospital. He's all fucked up. Like, everything is still on the table. You just got to get yourself down to Florida. And I was like, okay, I'm on my way.
So you went?
So they give me so I went. And when I got there, it was an address that was basically an empty field in the middle of nowhere.
And did you even decide to continue talking to them, or did you just say, time to start a new mission?
Oh, no. Well, I kept trying to contact them, like, hey, dude, I must have got the wrong address. I don't know where I am. Like, something. They blew me off. I didn't hear from the guy for about 5 years.
That's fucking crazy, dog.
So literally, like, I would go to the car wash and shower at the car wash, and I was sleeping in my car.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme, brother.
And then eventually I reached out to a friend I went to high school with that lived in Florida.
Nice.
And she was like, hey, come over.
How long were you doing that before that happened?
Oh, for a while.
Like a couple weeks, couple days?
For a little while. Probably a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
That went on.
What were your thoughts like during that? Did you get hopeless, or were you still just like, I just got to pace myself and be patient?
At that point, I was like, I really want a real shower, and I'm sick of the dollar menu at McDonald's.
Yeah, man, I used to take a shower at the gym. I understand how that goes.
So I'm like in, like what I would do is, and it was so weird because you obviously can't get naked and take a good shower at a car wash, right?
I mean, I never even thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah, so I mean, for $1.25.
Would you just take? I'm trying to even imagine. It's hard for me to even imagine how you do that.
Yeah, so what you do is you hose yourself down fully clothed and you soap yourself up, and then whenever you can find the privacy, you change into dry clothes. It really sucked. It wasn't a good time.
Damn, bro.
And then I was sleeping in my car at the time, which was fine. I was okay with that part of it. But then I ran into a friend of mine that I went to high school with that then lived in Florida and gave me a room to rent for $250 a month.
That's great.
So, and I mean, but it was worth it because this is glorious. We lived on El Dorado Avenue.
Yeah, man, there's no shame in my game. I'll take the cheap rent if I can, for sure.
Oh, but like other people would pay $1,000 a week to be where I was at.
Man, I love a bargain.
It just so happened that I knew somebody who was there.
Man, I love a bargain.
Like I was beachfront property in Clearwater Beach.
I mean, that's way better. I would have took a fucking room in a basement than outside if I can get it cheap. But yeah, no.
Well, I was in the basement. Like they don't have basements there, but they have like a first floor. It's really shitty.
Yeah.
But that's where I stayed. I stayed down on the first floor.
I'm glad you were able to like run into somebody. And you said it was just some girl from in your past, and like she just happened to be in that area. That's the way to do it.
So what happened was, and this is a story in itself. Her brother was one of my best friends growing up, and he got killed unexpectedly.
Oh shit.
whenever he died, their family took off from Pennsylvania down to Florida. And I just happened to reach out to her. Like, I was never friends with her or her family. Like, I was only friends with her brother.
And did you come up with that idea just sitting in your car? You were trying to think, like, who do I know? Who do I know? Like, did you instantly know? Like, as you were driving to Florida, were you thinking, oh, if shit goes bad, I can hit her up? Or when did you remember her? Did you, like, have it preemptively, her plan B? Or is that something that, like, came upon amidst your car days?
Yeah, it came upon amidst my car days. Like, basically, when I realized I was fucked and I had no options, I reached out to her. And
think on your feet, man. That's exactly how you survive.
Yeah, and I did that. Now, I mean, I had a great time living in Florida.
Oh yeah,
like I really.
I'm sure. I've never been to Florida or Pennsylvania.
Oh, it's better than LA, I can tell you.
Yeah, man. I've been as far east as Ohio. I lived in Columbus, Ohio, for a few months.
Oh, that's funny, man. My family, because we had we had a horse ranch, right? Columbus, Ohio hosts the Quarter Horse Congress every year, and it's like one of the biggest horse shows in the country.
Yeah, man. It's like a lot of Somalians.
Yeah, I would go to Columbus, Ohio when I was a kid every year.
Yeah, I sat there. It was nice, man, but I ended up, like, I didn't know anybody there, and I ended up just hightailing it out of there. But I was there for a few months. It was definitely chill, but I had nothing going on, so I was like, oh, let's keep the journey going, and I headed to Texas after that.
So that's really interesting, though, because you got to think about it. One of the places you brought up is a place I used to frequent when I was a kid.
Yes, man, and I'm sure there's more places, man. I'm sure we're gonna keep talking. Like, you're one of these people. I feel like we could have more. Like, we could talk for days, and we're gonna have to limit this to as long as my time limit is. But let's keep this conversation going. So let me ask you this. So let's skip forward a little bit here. Another thing that really interests me about you is you seem to be. You mentioned you were a mechanic, not a mechanic, but you said you worked at a oil change place, and you mentioned a couple things like this. And your voice, man, I can't help but get over your voice. You sound so strapping. And I'm not trying to kiss ass or anything.
Thank you.
But I could just, I have
Well, no, I do appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you have a very, very, very nice voice, man. I could just picture your Adam's apple. So I feel like with that.
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't? Okay, what's that?
No, there's a little tiny one, but it's not really there. No, there's not.
Well, shit. Well, fuck me then. Like, fuck my imagination, Rico. Well, no, but in any case.
Wait, I want to do something real quick. Are you back stationary now? Are you back where you need to be?
No, not at all. I'm still in the journey.
As soon as you get back there, we need to take. I have some Jack Daniel's apple here.
Oh, I'm drinking.
Oh, well, let's take a shot of Jack Apple.
Dude, I drank my Jack Apple already, but I could take a different. No, I'm outside the liquor store just drinking, talking to you, because I felt bad for I'm not gonna make you have to wait for me to ride back.
Oh, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
I'm fucking sitting out here just chopping up.
I just poured a shot of Jack Daniel's apple.
All right, I got a shot of Tennessee honey.
All right, let's go ahead and take the shot of Jack together. Cheers to Rico.
Cheers to Doomsday.
That is so good.
Roadhouse. Woo!
Roadhouse.
I love saying Roadhouse after a shot of liquor. Roadhouse.
On our show, we usually say, all right.
All right, baby.
All right.
It is your main man, Rico Roxx, here on Social Suicide Podcast, update number 16, with your main man. Your side name is Doomsday, but you mentioned a different name earlier. What was that name you mentioned earlier to somebody?
Oh, yeah, I go by Jester, which, you know what's
Jester.
funny? Do you want to know something crazy? This is the universal lining in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned 16.
Yes.
Right? That is the most significant number in my life.
Interesting. So that's kind of awesome.
I was born on the 16th. My school bus was the 16th. My racing number was the 16th. Everything all revolves back to the 16th. And it's interesting that you mentioned that.
Well, because I have these updates, because I have 62 episodes of my podcast, but technically I only have 21, because my sacred number, in comparison to your number 16, my sacred number is 22. And so since I have 21 official episodes, I've been stalling because 22 is my next official Rico Roxx Social Suicide up number 22. And it's been a year I've been stalling. So I've been releasing these episodes that are not, I've been giving them weird names to stall, and I've been naming them Update 1, Update 2, Update 3, and you're Update number 16.
Oh, wow. See, that's what I'm saying. This number just comes back in full circle.
Yeah, that is pretty profound, brother.
Weird. Yeah, so you said 22 is the next one, right?
Well, that's why I'm making these updates, because instead of me just going and making, like, let's say if I were to just say you were in the next episode, it'd be 22, but I have a very specific idea of what I want for my sacred number, so that's why I've been just not releasing it, because I want it to be what I want it to be, but I don't want to not release episodes, so I've been having to make, like, pre-22 episodes, and I have about 40 of them. So technically I only have 21 episodes, but 62 episodes really. But my next episode 22 is going to come out soon.
I get what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I'm on that line. These numbers are significant in the universe.
Yes, I'm a man who believes in omens and these things. The language of the universe.
Welcome the Dark Bear to the show.
The Dark Bear. I'm just such a shitty host that I'm just drinking and I'm so happy with this conversation. My screen is off. And I could easily turn it on, but I don't want to.
Oh, it's cool. I'll monitor the chat. Don't worry about it. The Dark Bear says at Doomsday Podcast, and I hope you are well. I am doing well, the Dark Bear. I hope you are well too.
Let me ask you this.
You're doing.
How long have you been on Podbean, and when did you find Podbean?
We launched our first episode January 1st of 2020. But what we did is we started our promo in October of 2019. So I guess you could consider it 2019.
So here on Podbean?
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to check out your show, man. I'm going to really watch it. I'm very curious on what your show is about.
It's very, so I'll tell you, it does get very right wing. It's very pro gun.
Second Amendment, baby.
We love our guns. And how you brought up, the one thing I was going to say when you brought up episode 22, the one thing that popped into my head when you said 22 was the favorite round of the Mafia.
Oh man, it is kind of cool.
22 for execution. Yeah, they loved using the 22 for, hits and executions because the 22 is very hard to trace as far as forensics goes.
That's why I use it.
So it's a good round.
Yeah,
it's a good round.
Double 22. I just like the number 22 based on just some random thing when I was 18, 11 years ago. But
deuce.
Yeah, man, I ended up because everyone has to have their own style. Like let's say everyone lives to 100. That's just as an average. Well then, like, everyone has their opportunity to make life their story, and so I respect people who have just made their own occult symbols, and, like, these people like Anton LaVey and fucking Charlie Manson, these people who are just like, well, I don't know why I'm here, but while I'm here, I'm gonna fucking go wild, and so it's like I have my own symbology. I don't just search for others, I create my own.
So, one thing I did want to ask you while we were in the show tonight is, with you having the mindset that you do, I gotta get your higher power beliefs, your religious beliefs. I want to know. I'm curious.
Myself.
Yeah, yourself. What do you believe in? What do you think the higher power is? Do you believe in God? Do you think God does? I'm really curious.
It's a really interesting question, and just to say a bunch of things, I'm very open-minded, and I'm not an atheist. I guess you could say I'm an agnostic, but I do not ever pray. I do not seek out. I talk to myself. I'm almost self-worshipping.
Huh.
But I'm a man who it's like, I don't really have a religious thing except for optimism and everything. I'm almost atheist-like, but I'm more agnostic because I like to keep an open mind. But yeah, I have no God relationship. I do go to Bible study once a week, but it's only for my father because it makes him happy. But I really don't. To me, I'm just such a guy I'm so paranoid. I'm a very paranoid guy. I'm so mistrusting of others for some reason, I'm just a lone wolf kind of guy, and I feel like religion is just other people trying to put their ideas on me, and so I'd never liked that, personally.
Well, I mean, so I don't know what religion you were brought up or
Christian.
what religion that you're. Okay, so I was raised like hardcore Catholic, right? And I don't agree with the teachings that I was brought up on or anything like that. So my personal beliefs with religion are as follows, and you might think I'm a little bit crazy.
Yeah, please, I'd like to know yours.
So we have the Bible that everybody goes by, or you have the Quran, or you have these different teachings.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal opinion, I think that they are all bullshit.
Okay.
I think that they are all bullshit. I think that the Bible is the equivalent to a Harry Potter novel, in my personal opinion.
Interesting.
And my personal beliefs are, I do believe there is a God.
You do?
I do believe there is a higher power. However, I think that when the Bible was written, they were not able to interpret things as we would know them today. So the only way that they could
I believe they were misinterpreted on purpose.
Well, that's also something that I kind of believe as well. But I mean, honestly, like my personal opinion is I believe if there was a Jesus, he was an alien. If God did exist, he wasn't from this world.
Or he was a very fancy sleight-of-hand magician.
Well, or you have that aspect as well. But I do believe
or a time traveler.
There's a higher power. Well,
okay, now we're getting a little off of beat with it.
That is a possibility. I wouldn't.
I'm a theorist. I'm a self-proclaimed hyper-theorist. That's what I'm a theologian.
Well, I mean, Johnny Reb, welcome to the show. Welcome to the live studio. Feel free to send a message or call in if you so desire.
That's fascinating. Let me ask you this. I have to know. So when you say that you believe there's a God, I also believe the possibility. Now, do you believe in the possibility of God, or do you believe in a God? Do you believe that there's actually one that has an active role in your life in some way?
I believe there is a higher power. However, I don't think we as human beings know what that higher power is.
So, once again, I'll rephrase this. Do you think it has any active role in your personal life? I'm curious.
It's a double-edged sword because, and here's the reason why I say that, because I am a person that has very good moral values, and I care about people. I'm a nice guy. I don't like to see people get injured. I don't like to see people get hurt. So I have these good qualities that I just naturally possess.
Do you think a part of that was because you were adopted?
Maybe. That could definitely play a factor in it. However, I do have a very good moral compass.
Where'd you gain that? I'm curious, because I don't. I have a decent one, but not that good.
I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
Maybe we were born in a different time.
Well, my parents that raised me, they always preached, like, do unto others how you would want them.
Oh, they were the Catholics.
But whenever we got into a bad situation, it was fuck everybody else.
Catholics are very intriguing. I've never respected the actual religious aspect, but there's something about Catholics themselves. They're very interesting people, the ones I've ran into.
Oh, it's because we run the world.
Oh, I mean, there's something going on there. There's definitely something going on with the Vatican.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They got, a few of the, sacred, but, the books of the Bible that are unreleased.
Johnny Reb says, when you're dead in hell, you'll know about God. That's what Johnny Reb said.
Baby, I'm already there. I'm just kidding.
Johnny Reb, I do believe that there is a higher power. I do believe that there is a God. I just don't think we as human beings can interpret what that higher being is.
Almost because it's not our job to. It's almost not our function to.
Well, also at Johnny Reb, I don't necessarily believe in a hell.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's scare tactics.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the religion that we're taught on this planet is almost like the Santa Claus theory. You want to be good, so you get those presents.
Right, it's like you better not do bad, or you better not get out of line, or else it's a threat.
So he says Catholics don't run nothing. It's okay.
I mean,
I think what you
I think there's a few powerful clans out there.
I think what he meant to say was the Jews. The Jews run things.
Well, no, we don't need to get caught up on ties and ties. I think because we could start talking about ancient religions and we could talk about future religions. Has anyone considered what the next religions are going to be?
Well, I mean, it's very typical, right? There's like
the AI god.
Every religion basically believes the same principles, right? And for the most part,
yeah, these religions. I don't mean to interrupt, but this is something I heard the other day: is that the Quran, the Christian Bible, and the Catholic, albeit they're different, they all speak about the same God, but the messengers are different.
Well, there's a reason for that. So back in the day, whenever these biblical writings were written, you know, your firstborn son was the highest priority of your life to carry on your name. That's why God sacrificed the firstborn son.
Interesting.
Right? Because it makes sense, because it pulls at your heartstrings.
Right, absolutely.
Back then back then, a woman didn't have a voice. That doesn't play into today's terms at all.
Like, that's got to be the hardest thing for a man to do is give up his first son, because he may not get another.
Exactly. And isn't it funny how God gave up his only firstborn son to cleanse your sins, to make
John 3:16.
To me, you're trying at that point. You're looking for
I'm my father's only son, and my father doesn't even want me. Or doesn't even care about me, dude. It's just kind of silly.
But, okay. And I'm not trying to negate your situation.
No, I'm just saying it's kind of funny because this guy, my father's a zealot Christian. I'm talking a zealot. But yet, I'm his only child, and he just does nothing but tell me how I'm just better off not even being around. It's kind of funny because that's why I fuck it. It's like my own personal issue here. But it's like he's not even really a Christian. He just has this little false idea.
So your dad is that guy looking at you saying, Rico, why are you here breathing good people's air? Like he's that guy.
No, he's just ashamed that I'm not what he wants me to be, and I'm not exactly like him. And since I'm not, he fucking hates me.
Okay, so I'll give you something I'd like to talk about, get a little bit personal here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a son. He's 15 years old, 15 and a half.
Nice.
And he doesn't live with me. I have full custody of him. But he's in like a therapeutic placement setting. He doesn't live with me.
Any context on how that happened, or?
Well, there's a lot, but I don't think we have.
I'm not saying like that's what I'm saying. Like any kind of or just continue.
Well, I would be more than happy to talk about it, but that'd be a whole nother.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of my mind is a curious mind.
Depth.
But go ahead.
I'll just basically give you a summary. So, my son came along when I was 18 years old.
Nice.
And at that point in my life, I strived to be the best father I could be, but his mother was a fucking nut job. Right?
Absolutely.
So it didn't matter what I do. Nothing was ever good enough. I was working.
The more you did, the worse it got, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was working 3 jobs.
I understand this.
Turning all my money over to my fiance at the time for the kid.
I just want to interject one real quick. Is watching the guys with your similar situation is the reason I've never tried having kids, because I heard that.
So, well, yeah, because that does happen.
Because women just fucking.
Short of it was. I fought for a decade to try to just get a good relationship with my son and to get good custody and everything else. And then when he was about 10, 11 years old, he started telling me about this abusive home he had with his mother. And I was like, well, I'm not going to stand by idle and let that happen. I want to protect you. You're my boy.
Was it pretty bad?
It was bad. The stepfather was like beating the shit out
of me.
Oh yeah,
that's no good.
Like, it was really
because I had an abusive mom, but she was beating me, and not a man. It was a woman.
So I did what I could to get him out of there, and
without getting yourself in trouble.
Right, $10,000 in custody battles, and a year later we had full custody.
Now, I respect the fuck out of that, man.
But then. Things started going wrong. He's threatening to shoot up the high school. He's doing this.
Shut
he's
the
doing
fuck?
that. Like, oh, dude, it got bad.
Well,
like,
who is his influences? Like, where was he getting this?
I don't know, because like you gotta understand, like at the time when I was young, like I worked in law enforcement.
I'm a Joe shoot up the school. Like, well, shit.
So I'm working in law enforcement while the school police are calling me, asking me what kind of.
Dude, that's gotta be weird.
House, and I'm like, yeah, the school police are calling me, and I'm like, oh yeah.
So you were in law enforcement, but you were not a police officer? Can you give us any indication of were you an undercover or were you government?
Okay, so I want to answer Johnny. I want to respond to Johnny Reb real quick before we do that. Johnny Reb says, not the same God, Muslim messenger, Muhammad was sent by Satan.
Okay.
Johnny Reb, I think that, every religion is entitled to its own beliefs. If you want to worship the Prophet Muhammad, that's on you. But I think that Johnny Reb, at the end of the day, do think that we're the newest form country under one of the newest form religions, and do understand that out of all these different religions, out of all these different found places, like someone had to get it wrong. Not everybody could be right.
Well, if you think about it, like, okay, I don't want to sit here and get lost on like shutting down that kind of guy, but real quick, I just want to talk about how mistranslated things were. The Quran and Bible were translated from languages that people didn't understand. They tried interpreting them the best they could.
So Johnny Reb responded with, dude was a goddamn pedophile. And what I think he's referring to was the Quran, because...
Oh, I thought he was talking about Michael Jackson.
Maybe he was a Muslim, I don't know. But the Quran talks about how it's okay to have a sexual inappropriate relationship with a child, but it also says something along the lines of, if you penetrate that child is your responsibility.
But the Jewish do it too, though. The Jew people do the same thing.
Johnny, I can understand what you're saying there.
I know.
As far as that goes.
I don't have kids. I don't have a family. I'm just so out of touch there.
So, to get into what you wanted to talk about, which was
I ain't got shit. Hold on, pardon me, sir. I got a couple people coming up to me real quick. I ain't got shit.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I ain't got shit. You have a small
So, since Rico's tied up at the moment, let's go ahead and talk to Johnny. Johnny, why don't you call in, man? Let's
Oh, you can have that shit, okay? This is my only liquor. I need this. Thank you. You look alright. You look okay. I like that you're helping a girl out. I think that's attractive that you're helping her out. I think that's really sweet of you.
I'm tired.
But okay, so let's carry on.
Rico, I'd be tired too.
So can I have you back for a part 2?
Oh yeah, if you want to do that, absolutely, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime, sweetheart.
But I think we're gaining a little bit of steam right now. I'm curious how much time you have left.
Hey, let me look. Let me go against my philosophy here. Let me look at the screen. Because I'm the kind of host is I'll just sit here having a good conversation and I just ignore the chat. It's so funny. Like, people are just like, Rico sucks. Because as soon as I have a conversation, I'm just like, fuck the chat. It's so funny. But let me look.
Oh, I usually do that too, but
shit, Johnny Reb is trying to call. Okay, we're at a minute. We have 30 minutes left.
Let him call.
I just invited him. Okay, folks. The next person we have on, let me just introduce the next guy we have on. The next guy we have on is a religious, profound leader in his community, but also has the biggest dick this side of the Mississippi. Welcome, Johnny Reb.
Yeah, this here is Johnny Rebel.
Hello. What up, brother?
Johnny, what side of the Mississippi are you on? I'm curious.
I'm on the east side of it.
Well, welcome, brother. I'm on the east side of the Mississippi as well. How are you doing tonight?
You guys gotta pull out your rulers. You guys can both have the biggest dick that side of the Mississippi.
I know. We're gonna have a problem.
I got the biggest dick this side of the Mississippi, baby.
Well, I don't know anything about peckers and whatnot.
I do.
My kind of party.
I mean, shit, bruh.
Well, good. Hey,
is it wait? You can weigh the shit if you want to. I got a dick scale.
Hey, Johnny.
Okay, yeah, I digress.
Just out of curiosity. So it definitely just by your accent, it sounds like you're south of the Mason-Dixon. Would I be correct in that assumption?
I don't trust his accent.
I'm in the state of Georgia.
Oh, you're in Georgia. Okay. So I'm not that far away from you. I'm a couple states away from where you're at. I usually don't divulge location, but I'm not too
I really
far
don't
from
give a fuck about my location. I'm in the state of Georgia.
I
just
give a
south of
fuck.
Atlanta.
Please give a fuck about your location.
Well, that's anyway.
Here's my problem.
Okay.
I told you this Muhammad is a damn pedophile.
Oh my god.
And Islam is a death cult.
Okay, so what are you gonna do? Is that gonna stop the whole Middle East? No. Just you saying that is not gonna do shit.
Well, Johnny, I want to say something to you here real quick, and I'm not trying to persuade your beliefs or anything like that. So I know people that are Muslim, and I will say this, okay? There's a difference between Muslim followers and Muslim extremists.
That's true. That is true.
There is a
almost like a Templar, almost like a Muslim Templar.
Now, the Quran, and I want to support Johnny's theory on this. The Quran does basically support pedophile relations. It does.
So does Catholic and so does Jewish. And I'm sure Christian does too.
Yeah, well, the Catholics don't write it in the Bible.
Maybe we're wrong for thinking that fucking kids is bad. You guys ever think about that? Just as
well, I mean, that could...
I mean, because every religion does it.
Start a whole new argument. That's going to start a whole new argument.
Well, I'm just wondering, because every fucking religion does it. Maybe we're the fucking evil ones for not doing it. Just a thought.
But
okay.
Johnny, I know where your train of thought is coming from, because the Quran does teach that. I know what you're talking about.
I have no clue.
Yeah. You understand the difference between a pedophile.
I'm an ignorant fuck.
These extremists that blew up the World Trade Center.
This is an inside job, I believe.
And all. Perpetrated by the kikes.
Johnny, I have to agree with Rico on that.
The evidence.
9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah, there's so much fucking evidence there.
And I'll tell you why, Johnny, that I believe that, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I've been a welder for about 14 years, and I've worked with multiple types of metal. I have a degree in metallurgy, and I can tell you
metallurgy.
Jet fuel.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
That's
jet
cool.
fuel is not going to collapse that building.
Yeah, demolition. It was a demolition.
It had to be demolition.
All right. Let's talk.
So even if it was an outside force, it was premeditated and it was preset.
Okay. Since you people want to defend the Muslims,
No, I don't want to defend Muslims.
let's put 9/11.
Fuck Muslims, nigga.
Let's put 9/11 aside.
Fuck Muhammad.
Let's put 9/11. Hold on, let me finish what I'm trying to say.
We're not
Burn them
defending
off.
Muslims.
Listen to me.
Okay.
You're so progressive. Check this out. Put aside 9/11 and all the terrorists,
Okay.
and all the pedophilia.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. But what about them throwing them gay people off the top of rooftops and how they kill the gay folks? How can you defend them on that?
You can't defend anybody.
Well,
everybody does it.
Johnny,
Christians do that. Every religion does the worst thing you could think.
Y'all defending them on pedophilia and terrorists.
But I'm just saying, there's extremists in every category.
Not the same.
It is. There's extremists. They're just extremists. That's all they
You're
are.
not getting. Yeah, y'all not.
Rico, hold on.
All right, you go ahead. I'm done. I'm gonna mute myself for 2 seconds.
Okay.
What you drinking, bro?
I'm drinking
Jack Daniel, bitch.
Club Ultra, and I'm drinking Jack Daniel's.
I'm
Tennessee Apple. Sorry.
Tennessee Apple?
Yeah.
Man, I'm drinking Natty Light. I'm jealous.
Yes, I have no chaser. I'm drinking Jack Daniel straight.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's
Johnny,
up.
one thing I want to tell you in support of Christianity here. Not that I'm a devout Christian or I follow the Christian religion in any way. However, if you follow back through the Bible with the Christian religion, you will see that you've had problems with Muslims for years. And the Muslims have always been about extinguishing anybody that doesn't follow Allah, who doesn't portray the religion they do. It's been a crusading war for the Muslim people for years. My personal opinion, I don't think that all Muslims are bad. However, I do think this is a problem that's been going on for 2,000 years, and it does need to be dealt with at some point.
You guys are bringing up very interesting topics. Because this is a real-world problem, you guys. This is a real issue that we have as humanity, as mankind, this divide of religion. This is something I think about.
So, and this speaks to Johnny directly. Like, Johnny, look, I get there are problems with the Muslim religion. I get the things we are facing. However, as much as I think it would be cool to say, like, oh, let's just nuke them all off the planet, like, yeah, that would solve the problem. But you got to understand, it's not every single Muslim person doesn't have these beliefs. Now, I do get on 9/11 when that happened. You know, the Muslim people were chanting that it was a great day for America because we got our asses wiped out. Like, I get that. But that is a set group of followers. It's not everybody. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I have so many thoughts on this.
Like, I mean, Johnny, think about it like this. We have Muslims in America. Say if Russia wanted to nuke us,
thank you. See, this is a guy. This is a man who is a logical man. This man is a man of, what's the word? Rational. You're a rational guy, Jester.
Thank you.
Because you just mentioned the truth. Okay, it's like, okay, where's the difference? You can't go if you go to a Muslim country, they will kill you if you talk anything but Muslim. That's the one difference. Is there's a zero tolerance policy. Now that's fucked up. That's communism.
Now, Johnny, I think your beliefs are valid. I really do. And I think that you are on the right train of thought with these people are pedophiles and that there's a lot.
Really, he's right. You are. At least you're trying. I'm just a fucking soulless human.
There's a lot wrong with it. However, do understand that you do have Muslim people that follow the Muslim religion in the right way, and these people are not causing a problem. It's the extremists that are the main problem. And yes, I understand.
This is a very important point.
I understand that.
Yes, that is the biggest thing. That is the smartest thing I've ever heard anybody say. Isn't it dumb? That's like saying, oh, just because this mutant shark that was fucking a mutant, like, that was affected by Fukushima and he ate everybody, just all sharks must die. No, that's a very unique extreme shark. I think anybody who ropes all sharks into that is fucking ignorant. So I agree with that, man. There's extremists. I'm an extremist, not a religious extremist. I'm just an extremist in general, so I understand.
So I got a question for Johnny directly. Johnny Reb. If you had a way to fix this problem, please tell me how you would fix it. The floor is yours.
How would I fix the Islamic problem?
The whole thing, Islamic and Jewish and everything. How would you fix it all?
Well, I don't think I need to divulge.
Well, no, we're curious on where your mind even starts to play with it.
Let's just put it this way. They're Stone Age people. They need to stay in their Stone Age land.
Oh, like the apes. I get it.
Yeah, that's what they are. That's how they live. They stone you. You know, they cut your hand off if you steal something. They live in a world that is not caught up to reality.
Yeah, you're actually making a little bit of sense right now.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
They need to stay in their little shitty places, and they can all go back there and live that way. Kind of like these people.
So you're saying that just because you're a little better, that it's much better than them, and I agree.
Well,
but doesn't it matter that you're just a little bit better instead of a lot better?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm saying you are better because you're not cutting hands off. I'm just saying in general, society has not improved much. Okay, because American, Christian, white, whatever you are, call it, Catholic, Jewish. Okay, yeah, Muslims, they're the bottom. But then let's say you upgrade a little bit, but why not upgrade a lot? Why not move to high consciousness? Why just move to slightly above cutting hands?
Rico, let me.
I'm alright.
Like anyone else.
Listen
to me. It's like anybody else. Look, man, if you come from a Stone Age culture and you try to invert yourself into a modernized society, you can't fit in with our rules of law.
So, Rico, I've got something for you, Rico, and I want your honest opinion on this. So, you're a devout Christian, I'm assuming.
No, I'm a fucking hyper-theorist methodology. I'm a theologian.
I'm sorry, not Rico. I'm sorry. I meant that question to Johnny. I'm sorry, Rico. Johnny, you're a devout Christian, I'm assuming, right? And you live in America. You believe in the.
I'm a Christian identist.
Okay, so. You as a Christian have to believe, if you follow the Bible in any capacity, that all human life started in one area, that it started from one area. We have the Holy Land, which where everybody was started at. We have Adam and Eve, which everybody came from.
No, so, let's not talk about that, how that happens. Let's not talk about that family line.
At the end of the day, these people are still your brethren. Yes, maybe they went down the wrong path. Maybe they didn't.
What people are my brethren?
Everybody on this planet.
No.
Every child of God. Every single child of God is your brother.
No, they're not.
Why?
Well, you know how
why, Johnny?
Cain was cast out. And they made their people. God's people, the descendants.
Okay, now we're getting into superialism.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Which is not necessarily wrong, but it's interesting that you go there.
We're not the same. They are descendants of Cain.
So supremacy? So you're going to supremacy now? So true Christian supremacy? Is that the idea? I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm curious.
No, I'm just telling you what I believe. I was asked, so I divulged.
Yeah, no, continue. We're just thinking out loud. My mind wondered, is this Christian supremacy you're discussing?
No, it's reality.
So, Johnny,
it's written in the book.
The one thing, I was raised Catholic and very hardcore Catholic. I mean, I was in CCD class, Sunday school, like I did everything. Like I was very hardcore Catholic growing up. I mean, it was very traumatizing in a sense.
I feel left out because I've never been religious. Now I feel like I should have been raised religious.
So our tactic that our religion taught was that God is the center of everything. Each person is the temple of God, and you yourself need to worship yourself like you would worship God, and the temple is such, etc., etc.
Yeah.
The one thing we were taught was to be tolerable, and if you saw somebody that didn't fit the realm of what you thought they were, that you need to preach the Word of God. That these people know not what they did, and they needed to be shown the path, right? That's what we were taught.
This shit just got deep.
So I mean, for me, it's like this. Johnny, I'm not trying to talk down. I'm not trying to be a dick, or I'm not trying to be an asshole.
You're not capable to talk down to me.
No, I'm not. And
you don't.
I'll take that challenge.
Johnny, you're absolutely right, and I'm not negating that. You are right, 100%. However,
I respectfully disagree.
I will say it is ignorant to a sense to lump a group of people into a category not knowing their individual beliefs, because you got to understand, to some point, this new world was discovered in 1492. Okay. this is the world we live in now. This is the country we live in now. That's when it was discovered. So you're talking about a society that's less when you're preaching a Bible that was written overseas.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to have to shut this down because I'm about to run out of time, but I want us to leave on a positive note, so let me close out with this. Because all three of us can relate in one thing. There's one way that all three of us are related. My new Southern friend, my new Jester friend, and Rico Roxx, one way we're all connected is we're here right now. And with that being said, is I think that I'm a person who, let's say I don't believe in Jesus, I don't believe in Quran, I don't believe in what I believe in is in every moment that's precious, and this is one of those. So thank you guys so much, and I think that no matter what we think about, at least we're still here to be able to think about it. And thank you so much for both of you guys coming, and I really do honor and respect both your times, even though I may not be agreeable. I do really respect you for being here. And that is going to have to wrap this up. Any final thoughts for anybody?
Well, for myself, I kind of want to keep this going, so I might get a live show going to keep this going.
Yeah, I will join your show, but my shit's about to run out.
Okay, so Rico's probably going to join in. Rico, I'm going to give it 10 minutes.
Yeah, because I got to get back to the house. I'm pretty drunk right now. I've been doing laps. It's pretty awesome.
So for our listeners out there, Rico, I am going to plug myself if you're okay.
Yeah, go ahead. And then we'll give our new friend a chance as well, but go ahead.
Okay, so I want all you guys out there to follow our show at It's Doomsday Podcast on Spotify. You could follow us on here at It's Doomsday Podcast. You could also follow us on a bunch of other social media platforms at It's Doomsday Podcast. The email, It's Doomsday 2020 at me on Snapchat, It's Doomsday 2020, or at me personally, Justin1WN, at Grizz, GRIZZ7476. And we do new episodes every week. Every Monday we do a new episode. And Johnny, we are going to start a new show in about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you want to partake in that, you're more than welcome to. Because I feel like there's more that needs to be talked about.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah. I reckon. Let me explain something to you. My old lady is Irish Catholic. She goes Roman Catholic. I know all about Catholicism, man. But anywho, I'll let y'all.
Thank you for joining tonight, brothers. Thank you, and I hope you do come back again, man. We could hash this out, man. We have a lifetime to figure this shit out. I bet you both. None of us in 20 years are gonna feel the same way we feel now. I guarantee it.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
And I'm sure, I mean, you're probably right. I probably won't be alive. That's what I think. But I just say that because it's a nice place. So everybody follow Rico Roxx on Podbean, podbean.com. And if you don't want to download a fucking bitch-ass app, just go to RicoRoxx.com. That is where I have my RSS feed. But please, just do your main man Rico Roxx a favor, since I am that nigga. Just please download Podbean. Search Rico Roxx Social Suicide and just follow me and delete the app. Just help me look good. Help me gain gravitas. Help me gain some flex. And this is your main host, Rico Roxx, here, joined by the main Jester. Man, and I hope me and him do cross paths again. And both of you. Because I feel like you may not be as big as a conversationalist as the me and Jester, my new Southern friend, but I think that your passion is real. And that is intriguing as well. And if you hang out with guys like us, who knows, maybe you could figure out how to express it better. But this is Rico Roxx, and I just want everyone to follow me. I'm on Spotify as well. I'm on Podcast Addict, Pandora Radio, every platform. Just type in Rico Roxx, Google Rico Roxx, YouTube Rico Roxx, everything. Free your mind. Rico Roxx, free your mind, free your mind, free your mind. Update 16, free your mind.
Toodaloo.
Woo!